Our goaltenders brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Corey Schneider making a league-leading 35th start in goal. And Jimmy Howard facing the Devils for the second time this season. A winner facing Schneider in the first meeting here. Well, Riley Sheahan and the Red Wings will play the final game of 10 here this month. The Wings are 3-2-4 this month here. And this season have the third most points in the NHL at home. Travis Zajac and the New Jersey Devils playing an NHL-high 23rd road game. They are 8-12-2 away from home, and we are underway. As Riley Sheahan starts between Tatar and Yurko, Quincy and DeKeyser on defense. As it's slapped into the Red Wing zone by Sislo. Mike Sislo, number 34 for the Devils, out there with Mike Camilleri, number 23, and their centerman Travis Zajac. As this will be icing, Tatar was close to getting there, but to no avail. And as you know, Mick, the coaching change for the Devils, there's three co-coaches. Lou Lamoriello, the president and GM, he's done this for the third time. He fired Pete DeBoer, and you see the coaching record there, Mick. It won't change because there has been named no interim head coach. So he, along with Scott Stevens and Adam Oates, no individual will get credit for a New Jersey Devils victory. Three co-coaches, no interim, no record for any of the coaches should they win or lose a game as Jimmy Howard holds on.
Well, it's not the first time that Lou has made a move, and at a strange time, right at Christmas time, he fired Julian right at the end of the season a year ago. There's Adam Oates, good guy, former Red Wing. He'll be back coaching before too long on a regular basis as a head coach, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if he gets the nod here once things settle down. Scott Stevens scored the great defenseman for New Jersey. But this team doesn't score a lot of goals, only 82 goals. They got problems there. They give up a lot of goals. They're way down, about 22nd or 23rd in goals against. Schneider hasn't filled the bill that they thought he would when Brodeur moved on. And if you're wondering about the draft in Yager, guess who was drafted the same year? Martin Brodeur, 1990 was Yager.
Wow.
Yager was 5th.
Schneider will hold on to that.
And if I was to ask you, without knowing it's Yager, you say Owen Nolan, Peter Nedved, Keith Primo, and Mike Ricci. What do they got in common with that guy? Well, they were the first 4 picks in 1990. And Yager was 5th, taken first by Pittsburgh, and the 5th pick overall. 1990.
5-time Art Ross Trophy winner, and again, 5th in points all time, 711 goals, 6 back of Phil Esposito for 5th all time. And as we said, and you mentioned off the top, think if he didn't spend 3 years in the Continental Hockey League, give him another 50 or even 40 to 50 points a season. You know, there's a point shot. Oh, it hit a body in front, and that hurt.
At 36 years old, he went to the KHL, and at 39, almost 40, he came back to the NHL. That's 3 years ago.
Darren Helm has the puck hanging in there. That shot hit Helm. That felled him. And he's going to the Red Wing bench. I'm surprised he stayed out as long as he even did there. Hopefully he's all right.
Well, so far, knock on wood, Darren Helm has been in a lot of awkward situations this first half of the season, and he's come out better than he did a year ago.
Boy, he's played every game.
The last 2 years.
And remember, he missed training camp in the preseason. All with the injuries he had. But out. Turnover in the zone. Shot. Howard got a piece. That was a good save. Came back into the slot again. Turned back to the line. Moved quickly by Zidlitsky. Getting it back from John Merrill, the former Wolverine. Back to the line for Jim Cicito, number 12 for New Jersey. Cicito kept it in, and it's pushed back in deep by Joe Whitney. 5'6" forward, wearing number 33 for the Devils. They're in the midst of a change. Camilleri's up there for New Jersey, wearing number 23. Camilleri had a couple of power play goals for the New Jersey Devils, and what was a comeback win for the Red Wings. Yurko goes into the corner to get it. Yurko out with Sheahan and Tatar, and moved quickly ahead and out the center by Sislo. Sislo in there to get it. Taken to the boards by DeKeyser. Comes to the near side. Getting in front of it was Yurko. Sheahan tried to clear. Terrific piece. Trevor Thompson driving along with Riley Sheahan in our Red Wings live pregame show. Nice to see the other side of Riley, and a good young man he is. We'll hear some more from that in case you missed it. Coming up during our first period here.
He's giving Mike Babcock a lot more options than he thought he had when this year started. He's become a bona fide number 2 center that's allowed him to put Datsuk and Zetterberg back together.
Abdelkader with it. Abdelkader the shot. And Schneider stopped that from the man Abdelkader scored of to win the national championship for Michigan State. Abdelkader with 9 goals on the season, one behind his personal best that he's done twice the last 2 years with 10. What a great start to the season for Justin Abdelkader. And when you play with number 13 or number 40, it helps the numbers a little bit.
You're going to pick up a lot of garbage, boy. And around the front of the net, he's done a nice job of acting like Thomas Holmstrom.
Franzen with a shot that Schneider will hold for a face-off coming up in the New Jersey zone.
Well, this chance by Abdelkader wasn't of a high quality, but nonetheless, left-hand shot coming off the left side at that angle. Not a whole lot to shoot at. Look at the goaltender. I mean, down again. Get that puck up in those top corners, and Abby's looking up at the big clock trying to get a look at that replay, and if he had anything to shoot at. They are down early, these goalers, in today's world, and they're giving you the top of the net, boy.
Xavier Ouellet is out there for the Red Wings. He takes the spot of Brian Lashoff in the lineup tonight, and Jakob Kindl out with an elbow injury. So Ouellet could be here for a little while, and he's fared very well in his time with Detroit. Now playing this 10th game of the season. Xavier Ouellet, number 61. Nyquist trying to dig the puck free out there along with Johan Franzen, who had a winning goal against the Devils in the November 7th win here. Brendan Smith with a shot that went wide. Franzen's got it. Puts it in for Helm, who's okay after taking that shot in the slot. Helm turning in the corner, got knocked down by Zidlitsky. Puck came free to Bernier. And moved up for Merrill. John Merrill gets it into the Red Wing zone. Born in Oklahoma City, but grew up in Brighton with John Merrill. Played for Red Berenson at the University of Michigan. Long stretch pass by Detroit for Weiss. Weiss starting on the 4th line tonight with Luke Glendening, who just got tripped up, and Drew Miller. That rink-wide pass as Miller will chase in his own zone with his number 20 counterpart Jordan Tutu. Not wearing 22, but wearing number 20. 22 on the Devils belongs to Eric Jelenoff, who will go into the corner with Glendening. Jelenoff's a big body, the defenseman, at 6'4", 220 pounds. Andy Green gave chase and got the puck ahead. And at center, there's Tutu. Turning with it back into his own zone. Tutu played 53 games with the Red Wings from 2012 to 14.
He hasn't changed his style much. He had a couple of battles just a few days ago. Same, I mean, he's not going to change his stripes. Comes to play every night, that kid, boy.
Sure does.
A lot of credit.
Yurko had it go off his stick, got it back to the line as Kronwall moved it over. Shot from Eriksson went wide of the goal. Oh, and big hit as Yurko nailed Peter Harold into the boards. Here's Tatar turning at center. Tatar with 15 goals in his past 3 games. Tatar and Nyquist share the team lead with 15. And they were the leaders last season for the Red Wings when Nyquist had 28 and Tatar had 19.
They both have a nose for the net, those boys.
Scott Gomez with a shot that was stopped by Jimmy Howard, and he'll hold on. And when we come back, we'll drive along with Riley Sheahan, just like Trevor Thompson did.
I think the Swedes they've got it going on. They got a good style. They dress well, and yeah, you kind of maybe see something that they wear, and you remember it, and you kind of look for that next time you shop, but you don't admit it. You don't ever admit that you got.
Never give anybody any props.
Right, exactly.
See, he won't, but I agree with him wholeheartedly how the Swedes dress. I'll go up and ask him.
Well, you're not going to find what they're wearing when he's looking for the Levi shirt that he's got on. I like that. Way to go, Riley.
Well, you can give us some flannels if you'd like.
I know. The Swedes will be looking for the flannels and the Levi's if he keeps that up. Oh, yeah. Boy. That clothing's a little different for most of us.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Made for smaller people.
Jagr took a stab at the puck out there against Zetterberg. Lead pass ahead.
Nice pass.
Abdelkader will get it in. Devils will go back.
Boy.
Steal there by Datsuk. Knocked right out of the hands of Zidlitsky. Shot by Zetterberg was fought off and stopped by Schneider.
You know where he was going. Top corner over his right shoulder. He hit him in the shoulder.
Zidlitsky gets a stick handed to him from Scott Gomez, who goes off in a change as the Devils try to get another man out there. Now they do. And it was just out of the reach of Xavier Ouellet. And as Brendan Smith got it. But Zidlitsky was wondering how that stick just shattered as he got slashed at. Turning with it is Datsuk. 13 goals in the season for Datsuk. 27 points as Nyquist will get it in. Nyquist with a shootout winning goal against the Devils on November 28th. The only shootout win by the Red Wings is these two teams have both struggled mightily the past 2 years in the shootout department. The Devils went 18 without a shootout win. That tip through. Howard the save and the rebound. Oh, good coverage quickly there by Brendan Smith to prevent a goal. Came back to the line and out to center and to the near side for Adam Larsson. Devils with a boatload of injuries on their team. 4 confirmed cases of the mumps. Justin White told us about during Red Wings Live pregame. Here's a break for the Red Wings. Miller carries. Back in front, couldn't get it out to Weiss. And the Devils. Tutu had it blocked. Number 20 counterpart Miller got it into the Devils zone. Miller, who was born in Dover, New Jersey. He had the tying goal in the comeback win by the Red Wings in New Jersey. I asked Drew Miller how long he lived in Dover, New Jersey. He said, couldn't tell you.
Didn't remember.
Wasn't there very long. I just know when my mom was pregnant, on the way to the hospital, there was a movie shoot and we had to take a detour. We were lucky to get there. Yurko. He'll fire in that Schneider, who's a good puck-handling netminder, couldn't get a hold of that one. Shane had moved up. It was dumped past him. Merrill moves one ahead for number 34, Sislo. And this will be called icing against New Jersey.
Good hustle by Eriksson. This rule, I think, has really developed itself over the last year or so, this icing rule. Here's the save by Howard. That was a screenshot, but it was a good recovery by Brendan Smith, and there was a broken stick right there, and then Datsuk trying to figure out where do I go. Zetterberg tried to go right up over the shoulder, and he hit him in the shoulder.
It was actually the force of Datsuk's forecheck, and then Zidlitsky's stick snapped on the back of the mesh. Just the force.
The netting, yeah.
That's how it broke.
Well, a lot of guys impale themselves when the blade gets stuck somewhere. A lot of times it's in the boards, but...
So Datsuk, Abdelkader, and Zetterberg. Zajac on the draw. Won by Datsuk. Now the Devils have come up with it. Camilleri. Under the free agent July 1st with New Jersey. And with all their injuries, they desperately need Camilleri's offense, who missed some time due to injury this season. Played up for Brendan Smith.
Mike Camilleri, another Michigan guy. No matter who he's playing for, seems to play pretty well against Detroit.
Sure. And at 131 points in 3 years with the Wolverines. There's Yager, and a shot was blocked. Yager holds on to that puck. Just wide of the goal. Puck just seems to follow Yager. What a workout regimen he's got. 2 a day. So Ken Holland, one of his fine draft picks, Dylan Larkin, who plays for the Wolverines, playing in the World Juniors. We'll update that when we come back.
Waterford, Michigan. Go Dylan. Red Wings have a bunch of people that are getting some heavy press right now. Young players.
5 in the tournament with different countries, and Joe Hickett's the only undrafted player. Red Wings signed their defenseman as a free agent. He's been terrific for Canada. He really moved that puck. Not a lot of size.
Continues to be pretty remarkable the way the Red Wings have been able to draft and not being in good draft position.
Into the middle. What a play. Datsuk to Zetterberg. Circles the goal. Back in front. To the point it comes. Kronwall got it through. Datsuk. Zetterberg looks in front for Abdelkader. Knocked away in a penalty here to New Jersey.
Tic-tac-toe. Harlem Globetrotters.
Brad Meyer making the call. Working the game tonight with Gord Dwyer. Lou Lamoriello, third game behind the bench for the Devils. And Yager goes to the box.
Datsuk with that little, just a bare touch. He knew that Zetterberg was in behind him. Where does Yager take the penalty? Right there? Yeah, by that time it's being called by the referee at center ice. So Yager doesn't get a ton of penalty minutes. He usually spends time on the power play for the New Jersey Devils. 24 penalty minutes coming into this game.
Well, the Red Wings have the best power play in the National Hockey League. So the Bell Tire power play goes to work. It's 24%. And
Pretty
against
amazing.
the Devils this season, 4 for 8. 32 power play goals in the season for Detroit.
Pretty amazing with the start they had.
Last time in this building, we saw them hit for 4 power play goals against Buffalo. Here's Tatar out there with Shane and Weiss and Nyquist, who just missed that puck. Managed to recover, though. And Danny DeKeyser.
It's this unit that they call the so-called second power play unit with Tatar and Nyquist and Sheahan, not Datsuk and Zetterberg, that's done a lot of damage.
Nyquist, 15 goals in the season, 8 have come with the man advantage. Moved here to Nyquist. Tatar tried to bat it out of the air. Good work to get it back for DeKeyser and a return pass for Tatar. Back for DeKeyser. Wrist shot. Just wide. Tatar being pestered. Goes up high with it. Nyquist. Wrist shot. Piece of a stick and wide of the goal. Tatar. The Zajacs on him. Sheahan out front with it. Showing those great hands. Nyquist, speaking of which, turns and holds here. Gus Nyquist. Tatar sneaks in at his opposite face-off circle. DeKeyser walks the line. Goes Tatar's way. Wrist shot. All the way back down the ice.
Well, a good-looking power play, but no cigar.
Howard leaves it for Kronwall. Zetterberg, Bronson, Abdelkader, and Datsuk. Kronwall right point, 15 to go, man advantage. In front of the goal, and Datsuk just missed it on a tap back from Abdelkader. And away comes Mike Sislo. The undrafted free agent signing. Put it into the gloves of Howard, who will hold on. And the Red Wings, not a shot on goal on that power play.
Red Wings 5-game combo presented by Little Caesars is still available. Get tickets to 5 Wings games, a free hot and ready pizza, Red Wings car flag, and a ticket to the Michigan State versus Michigan College hockey duel in the D. All for as low as $195. Call 313-471-7575 now. Ticket executives are standing by.
Either working on New Year's Eve. Miller tried to get through, couldn't do it. Working against Jalina. Glendening and his stick whacked at. Yager's got it. Near board, stepping up on him was Erickson. Out there along with Quincy. Kronwall just played on the power play, and now the Red Wings will get a shift change here. Back out over the boards comes Zetterberg with Datsuk when Miller leaves. Abdelkader comes on. Brendan Smith knocked it down. He was hooked, and Yager's going right back to the box.
Goodness, yeah. Well, he's looking, but he knows he's got his stick up high on Brendan Smith. But I think he tried to get the stick, and he missed it and caught him in the bottom of the chin. Hooking, they called it. Wow. Well, he didn't get him in the chin. He got him in the chest, so this is a call the Red Wings will take. He didn't hook him either. But if you don't score on these, the reason I don't like penalties like this being called is that you're going to get them against you that are of the cheap variety also. And that can be dangerous going the other way. You got to nail her down here.
Red Wing power play, second try of the game. Datsuk a shot. Sent out to center ice by Sestito. Franzen gives one back for Kronwall. Datsuk carries in and sets up. Larson chasing Franzen. Franzen turned back by Larson. Now to the line for Kronwall. Quickly moved over Franzen's stick though as he got tied up in the corner by Adam Larson. Franzen again. Datsuk with a tip and off the netting and out of play.
Well, it's this power play, the number one unit. That's Zetterberg and Franzen. Here's a high look at it, and I'm looking for this guy right here to be in this area here. Brett Hull, Mike Bossy, come on, out to the angles. He's not going to score. Not good chances out there. Now, if he goes to the middle there, maybe, but they're keeping 93 out there. He goes to the front of the net to screen. Boy, oh boy, with the shot that he's got, that's where I want to see number 93. Get the puck to him and let him gun it.
7 goals on the season for him. You know that long stretch he went without one and finally got one. But too few and far between for his liking and
6'3"
overall.
You know, 200 and some pounds. Big, long reach, strong. He can fire the puck like a rocket, but he's got to get some good shots.
To Kaiser for Gus Nyquist. That pass to take from the Kaiser. Nyquist did though. Gave it back for Weiss. Over here. Tatar with a shot stopped by Schneider. Sheahan on the rebound for Tatar. Gets it back from DeKaiser. Skate to stick. Pass through over Nyquist stick. Nyquist turning with it. Nyquist dropped one back. DeKaiser to Tatar. Sheahan down low with it. Out front again for Weiss. But Sheahan with those quick hands again, and we've seen that play so often. Either he'll make a pass back or go to the net with it himself.
Usually goes to the net. That's obviously a planned play, and this time it just didn't execute, but nicely set up. Good effort.
Here's Helm on the right wing. Schneider with the save. Rebound taken by Tuomo Ruutu. Puck given away by the Devils. Now on a second try, they'll move it. Zidlitsky getting it in there for Sissler. A push to the end boards as Quincy tries to dig it free, moved it around to the far corner. Sissler first on it, moved it back to the line. Gelinas got a hard shot back there, number 22, Gelinas. Helm at a tough angle to take that pass. Move through for Quincy. Helm on the left wing. Red Wings in the midst of a change. Applicator will go in there. Nowhere to go with it. Bernier scored a goal against the Red Wings in this building this season. Great work down low. Datsuk now he's got it again. Back in front. Off a leg. Pinballing in there. Zetterberg. Put it in the middle for Datsuk. Back for Zetterberg. And tip back and out to center.
Boy, these two really look for each other, boy.
Perfect tip there by Datsuk. Back to Zetterberg again.
If you're defending these guys, you got to cover the one that doesn't have the puck. He's the dangerous guy. He's getting open. Get a shot. Get a scoring chance.
2-2. As it's tipped in, trying to fight through is Sestito. They're in the old number 12 of Damian Brunin, who cleared waivers in the American Hockey League. Former Red Wing and Devil. Yurko had a shot deflect wide. The thing about the Devils, when one player goes down, his number is quickly grabbed by somebody else. Lou Lamoriello does not like high numbers. 34, the highest sweater number worn on this team. Kronwall with a shot, purposely wide so as not to be blocked and knowing the rebound. Sheahan turning. Eriksson. Circling the goal, try to wrap around. Came loose in front. And the Devils under siege just clear it, and it'll be icing. Now we mentioned the New Jersey Devils coming into this game are undermanned with 8. And you can count the mumps And there's a couple more not in and some undefined as such, but word is 4 out with the mumps, and Steven Giunta gone. Havlat says he does not have the mumps, but he's ill, not with the team. Patrick Elias is skating on his own.
Tough to play this game in the parity world with a full complement of players, let alone having that kind of numbers out. But we know what that's all about here, whether it's mumps or other reasons.
421 man games lost by the Red Wings last season, and because of the kids and the job they did, made the playoffs for a 23rd consecutive year. Franzen with a good pass, and Nyquist just got his head up in the midst of a Devils change. Franzen with a shot. Schneider's got it up in his equipment, and he'll hold on. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Well, Riley Sheahan, who's working so well in down low around the net. 7 goals, 10 assists this season, 37 games for the 21st overall draft pick in 2010 by the Red Wings, and his midterm ranking was number 5. He ended the scouting bureau at number 22, and the Red Wings got him 21st overall in 2010.
You know, it's funny. Riley Sheahan is one of those guys that didn't light it up necessarily as a minor league player or college player or a junior player. A lot of the guys that are great juniors don't go anywhere in the pros, and yet guys that are just not average but good solid players end up being very, very good NHL players. And it looks like Riley Sheahan is going to be one of those guys. I mean, he's come out of nowhere with injuries last year, and he's an absolute value in the coaching staff.
A strong player at Notre Dame, both ends of the ice and on power play and penalty killing, but yeah, under their system with the Fighting Irish, didn't put up any great numbers that would make you say, wow, look at that offensive skill, but the Red Wings scouts saw the potential.
Well, when you see people like Mantha scoring a goal a game over, 80 games or whatever the heck, crazy, stuff like that, wild. But a lot of good players out there that don't score 100 points a year, but are really good at both ends of the ice, over 200 feet, and complete players.
That shot off the backboards to the corner. Quincy, nice little play there in front for De Keyser. Ahead for Zetterberg. Zetterberg shoots one that Schneider stopped. That's Sislo clearing it out. Highest number on this team other than Yager. We should mention that although they don't like high numbers, as Lou Lamoriello said, Yager can wear 68. Other than that, nobody's got a high digits on this team. Our Ram first intermission is Brendan Smith talking with John Keating here at the Joe. And yes, great leadership from numbers 13 and 40. All that and more with Chris Osgood, Darren Elliott, and Mickey York in our studios. Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena on this New Year's Eve. We hope you have a happy one and a safe one. Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond with you. And let's bring you back to Monday. Martin Brodeur in goal for the St. Louis Blues. 16 saves against the Colorado Avalanche with Brian Elliott returning to the Blues. Was this Marty Brodeur's last game? They're still carrying 3 netminders, but his 125th shutout most all time. And our fun fact brought to you by Southgate Lincoln. Dominic Hasek became the 3rd oldest to record a shutout with 22 saves when he was 43 years old and 61 days back on March 30th of 08 with the Detroit Red Wings.
Those saves looked all too conventional for Hasek.
They did, didn't they? Well, he learned how to conserve, as he got older.
Yeah.
Right?
But God bless Martin Brodeur. Good for him. That's great stuff. He's still got the fire in his belly. And, I guess the Stars weren't connecting here in New Jersey because they had Schneider. They really needed to get him into a starting role and be number 1. And it was a difficult separation, if you will. But you know what? Who knows where it's going for Brodeur? It's a good St. Louis team, but
right now still with the Blues. They're carrying 3 netminders with Elliott and Allen. We'll see. It'll play itself out. The Devils, they gave up the first-round pick to Vancouver to get Corey Schneider to replace Brodeur. That was Bo Horvat. It'll be a good one for the Canucks. The 9th overall pick.
What a great guy Brodeur to have if he wanted to settle for a secondary role, if you will, for teaching young goalies.
That may have been the toughest thing. Is Yurko throwing the shot in on Schneider that he stopped? Whether he was ready to accept the secondary role.
He's the ultimate pro, boy.
Andy Green. Carry ahead, the Trenton, Michigan native. Third in the NHL in block shots this season. Very consistent defender.
Amazing. Every year, more and more guys on all these teams around the league were mentioning their local ties.
Yeah.
It says a lot for the youth and amateur programs here in the Detroit and Michigan area. Boy.
They've come through the Little Caesars program that we've spoken of this season. Eriksson with a pass that was tipped, but managed to control was Datsyuk. They're along with Abdelkader and Zetterberg. Yager goes searching for that puck. It's tapped by Brendan Smith into the Red Wing bench and out of play.
Controlled Chris Chelios move right there by Brendan Smith. Riley Sheahan, we've talked about him. This one down low, he tried to move it with his own hands out in front. Here, planned play going back to Stephen Weiss. That's a nice defensive move right there by Peter Harrell to stop a quality scoring chance by number 90, Weiss. But Sheahan parks himself to the side of the goaltender, and they can't move him. Much like Yager, he's a big boy. He's not 6'3", 220, but big enough for most people to move.
Adam Henrique getting a stick in there, number 14 for New Jersey, who was a Red Wings fan growing up in Burford, Ontario. That's outside Brantford. Well, that's the home of Wayne Gretzky. Probably hadn't heard much about Burford. That's where Henrique is from. Domo Ruutu, back to Bernier. Howard, an easy save on a shot that was heading wide, and he'll take the face-off to his left. So with that in mind and this night in mind, Oakland University brings you the report card on activity on this festive night on New Year's Eve and the Red Wings all-time record. And they, I don't know if it's called loosey-goosey, but 4 more goals in 34 of those total games. And they're meeting here at the Joe with the Devils 6-4 and 89. The Red Wings won. They've had pretty good success here against New Jersey. 11-1 their last 12 home games with the Devils. And we've got a penalty coming here for hooking. So New Jersey will finally head to a power play. The Red Wings had 2 chances in the first.
Well, a lost faceoff results in this
Detroit penalty, 52, 2 minutes hooking.
penalty kill for Detroit. Red Wings have had 2 power plays. They've only gotten 1 shot, and that one was by Tatar. The block shot out there. And then the hook coming in behind by Eriksson.
Helman Glendening to start. Heralded a shot block. Grabbed there by Travis Zajac. Camilleri went back to the line with it. Again, Camilleri was dangerous in the last meeting, but good work there by Helm to get it down the ice. And Helm goes off. Miller comes on as he joins Glendening. Miller and Glendening, second and third, time on ice, shorthanded for all forwards in the National Hockey League.
And effective at that.
And the Red Wings don't take many penalties. So when they do, those 2 are counted upon heavily. Now Sheahan comes on for Glendening.
He's doing more of that too, Riley Sheahan. So that's outside. That's a good call.
And good call from up here by you.
Well, we're right on the blue line. Well, a little bit in front of it, I guess, where Jimmy Howard is down to our left here at Joe Louis Arena. And, you know, you start thinking about only 2 years from the end of this season, we're going to be in a new building, you know. 30 months from the end of the season, basically, to build a new building, and new digs will be in.
And they look great from what we've seen.
Yeah, they do.
Fans are going to love it. As will we. Gelinas. Yager. Tip going back for Scott Gomez. Yager with it. And in return pass from Gomez. Back to Yager as they play catch. Yager finds Gelinas. Walkered away by Howard.
Good wrist shot by Gelinas. Big kid with lots of leverage, and he was going top corner on Jimmy Howard.
Eric Zidlitsky back to get it. 10 power play points, the most for the Devils. The leader is Camilleri with 5 power play goals. Adam Henrique has 4. Jelinov back to the point for Zidlitsky. Oh, goal post.
He's got a
Save and a post.
He has got an absolute bullet from back there.
Zidlitsky pushed to the boards by Miller. Penalty over. Eriksson out of the box. Eriksson helped cut off the play at center and knocked down Big Jelinov. Those two roughly the same size. Datsuk. Back for Green. Just coughed it up. Brendan Smith was there to keep it in. Green will try this side for Ruutu. Abdelkader pressuring Zidlitsky immediately, comes up with it. And Zidlitsky, good play defensively to keep Abdelkader from the puck. Now Datsuk. Over top of Green. Came back to Datsuk again. And the Devils will dump it down ice. Ouellet in a race. Will this be icing? Yes, it will be.
I think if you're a defenseman like Ouellet, that kind of a play, you got to love that kind of play. A minute ago, watch New Jersey here on this power play. Here comes the guy who's going to get the big shot. Bang, bang play. Boom, over to the right side. Everybody collapses down here. They go back to the point, and he comes through there with everybody down. Look at this. I mean, he's got a lane hoping for a screen, and he can let her go, boy. Marek Zidlitsky. Zidlitsky, I don't know how they pronounce it these days.
Zidlitsky.
Zidlitsky.
With the icing, Detroit, timeout. Rest some of their players. Well, with all the injuries we showed you earlier that the Devils have, Scott Gomez played in his 1,000th game, the 296th player to reach that mark. He did that last Saturday, and you think about him, the 2000 Rookie of the Year. 2000 and 2003 Stanley Cup champion. He'd been with the New Jersey Devils all season, just practicing. Had a stall in the dressing room. Basically stalling to try to get a spot. When all the injuries happened, they finally said, okay, Scott, we're going to sign you. And he made his debut on December the 2nd. So second time around with them, 6th in Devils history in points. Good for him because he'd gone around the league, couldn't get a spot. Finally, it opened up back with New Jersey.
He's had a tough road to hoe. I think since the Rangers signed him to that mega deal, it really was difficult to, if he had to live up to it, so to speak.
Yep.
It wasn't possible. But he had some great years early in New Jersey, did some good things in Montreal, but he's had a rough go lately, so good for him. Good little hockey player, boy. Ooh. Wow.
Ruutu.
Another one of these games where we're coming down to the halfway mark of the second period without a goal. The first goal in the game is going to be a pretty important goal. It's the NHL these days, boys and girls. Tight all the way. One-goal games are the norm, not the exception.
And it has been a tight game that the Devils are used to. 9 of their past 12 games, New Jersey scored 2 goals or fewer. They're 9 of 12, and they're 3, 6, and 3 in those dozen. And the 2 of the 3 wins they've got in those 12 games, they've scored 3 goals. So they don't score more than 2 very often, New Jersey, and this is just the type of game they will take on the road and try to get 1 or 2 to win it. Bank on Corey Schneider to try and do that. Yurko. Tied up by Green. Chan tried to muscle out front. There's going to be a Devils penalty. Some good work here, staying with it by the Red Wings.
Like another hook.
You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Back here at Joe Louis Arena, it is with heavy hearts that we say goodbye to our good friend Donald Anthony, DA, as he was known by many, a legendary cameraman and fixture in the Detroit sports world for the past 30 years. And we at Fox Sports Detroit send our heartfelt condolences to DA's family and friends. By the way, that last timeout that was called was New Jersey's timeout on the icing as we thought it was announced in the building. It was Detroit's. It was not. It was New Jersey's. And the Red Wings here are on a power play with Dinas Zubris in the box. So the Red Wings on their third power play this game. Here's Datsuk. Wrist shot blocked. Got it again. Kronwall wiring one. That was blocked in front too by Larson. Back of the net for Green. Green does a lot of shot blocking for New Jersey and sent the link to the ice by Sestito, playing in his 6th consecutive game and 7th of the season.
One thing you notice about this Red Wing power play so far, they've got nothing clean at the net.
Datsuk couldn't handle that puck. Devils penalty killing, 22nd in the league. They've only allowed 3 power play goals the past 11. For the Red Wings on the power play, 10 of their past 16 goals they've scored. Over 7 previous games in which they've got a goal have come with the man advantage. So all but 6 of 16 on the power play for Detroit. So it put them in good stead and trying to get the opening goal of this game tonight. Here comes Tatar. Ruutu couldn't handle it. Good save, cut off the short side, did Schneider. Shan tried to bring it to the front of the net. Shan's got it again. Kaiser giving him the puck back. Riley Shan down low, getting it out in front, and Weiss couldn't get a quick shot. And again, the Devils will clear.
Again, nothing clean. It's all a mad scramble. No second and third opportunities. You might have one shot on this one, and that's about the end of it.
As Glendening gets in out of the box, comes Tynas Zubris, playing in his 1200th NHL game tonight. Zubris with it at center, number 8. Got it through to Sestito, dropped it back. Shot went wide from Green. Henrique. That went off Glendening's ankle. To the corner for Tim Sestito. To Adam Henrique. Pushed to the boards by Glendening. Sestito with some good work for Tynas Zubris. Oh, and then Zubris tripped up Quincy. No call there. Back to the line. Held in. Zidlitsky for Andy Green. Back. And it's sent through by Zidlitsky, and the Devils want to change here. The Red Wings with a long stretch pass. Yurko will dump it in. Miller goes in after it. Miller pumped one to the near side. Back where it is Mike Camilleri. Camilleri has been well traveled through the league and scored everywhere he's gone. 11 goals in the season for him. 26 games played. He's had some injury issues. Here comes Jagr. He's been pretty healthy all year. Zetterberg. Look for Abdelkader. But he was covered in front. Datsuk and Jagr together. Smith. Just wide. Datsuk. Watched back there by Gomez. High slot. And the shot got blocked off Zetterberg's stick. Datsuk forced the issue. And a good bounce here. Zetterberg back in front. And it didn't get through to Pavel Datsuk. Jagr. Darren Helm getting some speed going. Checking Green. Schneider made the save, then hopped over Helm's stick. And off a Red Wing stick and out of play. Past the halfway point in this game, looking for our first goal. Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit.
Halfway through this one, no score, and Thomas Yurko, learning maybe how to protect the puck. Right now, not doing a great job. A lot of this has to do with your position to begin with. And Zetterberg and Datsuk are two of the best in the game. Obviously, Datsuk a lot taller than Henrik Zetterberg, but boy, do they ever protect the puck well. Jagr on the other side as well does it for New Jersey. And one of the things that playing with these guys every day, a guy like Yurko can learn how to do that stuff. And again, it's the position you're in when you're receiving the puck a lot of times, or you got to get there first to get control and then protect it with your body and your rear end mainly.
Well, you saw what Nyquist did in Ottawa, right? And how often you watch Henrik Zetterberg do the same thing.
Yeah, right. Well, in today's game, I mean, it's something that's developed because you can't even touch a guy anymore. You're going to get a hooking penalty.
Saved by Howard. Yurko left it. Sheehan gives him the puck back. Intercepted. Here's Willett. And the man whom he scored his first career goal against, Schneider, stopped Willett right there. Well, speaking of the goal, Gus Nyquist doing his best Henrik Zetterberg impression on a 28-second carry.
Right hand on the stick, left hand protecting the. I know he's fast, but he's not that fast.
We'll never get the face-off if we waited 28 seconds. In the old days, you could have.
Yeah, right.
Not anymore.
Right.
See, they're going to drop the puck right now.
What a goal that was. Unbelievable. He also got perfect help in front. Brendan Smith crossed in front of the goalie. Perfect timing.
Oh, Bernier with a good move. Back here to Green. To Harold. To Green. Hit a body in front. Loose puck. They jam away and just wide penalty coming here to Detroit. Or is it? Who's got it?
Yeah, I think it is.
It's Hook.
New Jersey didn't like the call being made because they had the puck.
Well, that's why I thought that when the whistle went, I wondered.
Exactly. But it is a hook. Good pressure by New Jersey here with 8:08 to go.
61, minor penalty. Hooking.
Minor penalty. No penalty is minor in the coach's eyes.
Good
Pretty
point.
good scoring chance right there.
Look at that kick ahead here by Bernier.
Almost, boy.
Oh, almost a little Rick Middleton there, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Nifty, they call
Nifty,
him.
yeah. Last 4 penalties in the game have been for hooking. Willette's in the box now with 8 to go in period number 2. They work it in down low, knocked away by Eriksson. Grabbed there by Yager. Mentioned the lone high number with well familiar number 68. Shot was blocked.
Zidlickski's the guy they want to get the puck to.
Yager lost it.
That's still onside.
Yes, it is, as Harold tried to keep it in. Good pressure by Eriksson. So Miller comes out to join Glendening. Yager stopped at the line by Eriksson, knocked off his stick. Peter Harold back for Marek Zidlicky. 4 goals, 18 points in the season for him. Second effort there by Kronwall to partially knock that puck away. Yager moves it. Yager into the corner. Now back of the net. He'll try the other way.
Broken stick for Yager.
Gomez took the shot that went up high. Harold put it back in front to Zajac. Yager on the bench now. And they switch off after he didn't have a stick. Harold with a shot, saved by Howard. Picked up by Harold, intercepted by Glendening. He's been out there for a bit, but still with a burst of speed. Schneider the save. Glendening still going. Hits it again. Protects that puck like we were speaking of. Crowd appreciates his effort. And now Helm out with Advocator. Time winding down on the Willett penalty. Now Helm's got the puck. Good job by the Red Wing penalty killers. And Willett's out of the box. Goal for 2 of the Devils. Helm with it. The Red Wings in the midst of a change. To Kaiser, Helm, Datsuk. Zetterberg. Good recovery. Stop Ruutu and Pavel Datsuk back. Escaped that hit from Ruutu. He knew.
Not coming. Yeah, he did. He knew it was coming. Ruutu is that kind of player.
Eric Jelinov. He won the Memorial Cup with Thomas Yurko as a teammate in St. John. With Buddy Gallant. There's a shot that glanced up the Red Wings and wide.
He's heating up a little bit now.
Sislo doing some battle. Along with Ruutu. The puck taken by Franzen, but Ruutu's got it again. Puck knocked away and tipped by Datsuk and out to center. Green with Adam Larsson. Larsson, one of those young defenders, 5 defensemen under 24 years old for New Jersey. And their best player is nearly 43. Zetterberg puts on the brakes. Back into the corner. Knocked away from Sheahan. High stick by Brendan Smith. Just a reaction play. So the faceoff will come back in the Red Wing zone when we come back. And with highlights from Boston, the Leafs visiting the Bruins. Thank you. And there's a man who used to work for the New Jersey Devils, a longtime Red Wing equipment manager, Paul Boyer, who was busy over the Christmas break. He had a high-tech crew come in. They fumigated the rooms here at the Joe just in case any mumps wanted to clean things out. And when the Devils leave, they'll be doing it again. No offense to New Jersey. When you've got the mumps going around the room, they're taking no chances and some very high-tech equipment to get things all cleaned up. Scores! Now they'll have to clean up a 1-0 deficit.
What a shot. Boy, another fractured bouncing play that's turned over, and a quick wrist shot is the key here.
Joe Whitney, just 5'6", formerly at Boston College. The last 3 years, he led Albany in the American Hockey League with points. You can see why.
Look where that shot is. Right next to the left shoulder. Top of the net.
He was replaced, Mick, by Johnny Gaudreau at Boston College. Now, Gaudreau, we see what he's doing with the Flames, put up better numbers. Gaudreau's, what, 5'8", 150 pounds? This guy's only 5'6", 170. His first career goal.
Well, you shoot the puck like that, that's one to remember, I'll tell you right now. Lamoriello at 72, telling him at 20, way to go, kid, you got a long way to go.
Says, you keep scoring like that, I'm going to give you a long-term deal.
I guess so, yeah.
Because I run this ship.
He's got control of all that stuff. Yeah, right.
Unassisted goal at 15:37 for Joe Whitney in his second game. First game he played just over 5 minutes. The last game in the win over Pittsburgh. Won 2 NCAA titles with Boston College. It's amazing. Boston College, they get the little guys come in, high skill. Size doesn't matter in that regard. And you can see what Gaudreau's doing in Calgary, and the Red Wings will see him on the trick. Here they come again. Howard, a good save there off Travis Zajac. Zajac, boy, they really expected a lot more from him. Just 5 goals and 10 points in the season in 30 games for Travis Zajac. And he'd been so long a partner on a line with Jaromir Jagr, and they were finally split up when things weren't going well. Jagr loves to play with Zajac. 20th overall pick in 04, and they thought more offense from him that has tailed off somewhat. Still one of their top centermen, along with Henrique. And now hurting down the middle, Gomez has taken over in a top unit with Jagr and Zubris for the Devils. There's Gomez over there to Zubris. Back to Zidlitsky. Shot sailed just wide of the net. And the Red Wings comeback win in New Jersey. Jagr had scored first in that game. The Red Wings were down 4-1 to the Devils and then won at 5-4 in the shootout. And in here, Steve Bernier scored to give the Devils a 1-0 lead, and the Red Wings won 4-2.
Tonight they gave credit to Peter Mrazek for hanging in and battling in that game.
Shootout win, yep. Saved there by Schneider. Who hasn't fared well against the Red Wings in the past, and Detroit hopes to get to him here. Corey Schneider just 1-4-1 in 7 career games against the Red Wings with Vancouver and now New Jersey.
Detroit's only got 15 shots on goal, and not a lot of those have been quality scoring chances. 3 power plays, only 2 shots. Not good enough.
So you telling me for a 3rd consecutive game, or 4th consecutive game, it'll be after 2 periods in the dressing room, guys, let's wake up.
No kidding. Well, yeah.
Wrap around try there.
Yes.
Score!
Yes.
They woke up. Helm. Career goal number 50 for Darren Helm. And his first in 11 games couldn't have come at a better time.
Got that right. He certainly deserves it, Darren Helm. He's had lots of chances. Where does it go? Off the stick? Yes, it does. Off the stick, off the post, off the pad, and in. Where's Magic Johnson and Larry Bird when you need them? Woo! Look at this. Red Wings cut a break. Bang, 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 and it's in the net. 1-1 game. Darren Helm. It won't go down as a highlight reel goal. However, he's had lots of opportunities to score. Hasn't found the back of the net, but it scores a big one here to tie this game at 1 with 2 minutes left in the second.
Here's Zajac. And a stick lifted. De Kaiser goes to get it. Lead pass on for Tatar. Wrist shot deflected wide. Yurko off the back of the net. Yurko comes up front with it. Right back to the near side. At the line, Ouellette kept it in. Allowing Tatar to kick it ahead. Andy Green got checked. Good hustle, and then a stick came up and caught Yurko in a bad spot, I think. Riley Sheahan using that big body for Tatar.
See him stick his rear end out, protect the puck there.
Here's Yurko, turnaround shot. Just missed the net. They'll be a little happier dressing room, although still not where they want to be.
Yeah.
And you saw it against Ottawa with a better third. We saw it against Buffalo. Against Boston, they weren't good and never really recovered. Zetterberg in front. Run on by Camilleri. With a lead pass here to Scott Gomez. Eriksson on him, long and short of that. Duel. How about that, Sue? 40 seconds to go in the period. Abdelkader went back for Zetterberg, but he was covered. Puck is tipped by Zubris, but from his own side of center. And this face-off will come back in Devils territory.
Here's something to celebrate Hockey Town. New Year's free weekend, January 1st at 9 a.m. through January 4th to 10 p.m. Pay 0 fees on tickets for all remaining regular season home games. Some restrictions apply. For more information, go to DetroitRedWings.com.
Red Wings have controlled the face-offs. They're second in the league in face-offs is Detroit. And the offensive zone also second. Have the puck here. Nyquist. Forced wide with it. Back to the line for Quincy. Shot was blocked. And the Devils Jágr to center. Back in for Harold. The Devils defenseman stopped by Quincy. Lead pass ahead. I don't think Helm can get down there with this limited time left, but got the shot in. And Schneider the save. So a 1-1 tie through 40 minutes of play. And our MGM Grand Detroit intermission report. Going to break down the Devils D, all that and more with Darren Elliott, Chris Osgood, and Mickey York. Concerned about is glare from the sun. If the clouds clear, they may have to delay the game a little bit. That's not for sure yet, but looking at the weather forecast, it's a little warm, a little sunny. May not be best for the ice, so they'll check it out and see tomorrow.
I think that we probably would have taken that with open arms compared to last year.
With minus 15 or whatever it was.
Jumping.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That was old-time hockey on the outdoor pond, that's for sure.
But you can't beat the atmosphere from the big house last year.
Wow.
Yep. Something to do for New Year's Day tomorrow, and then later that night we'll be heading on our first Canadian, well, only Canadian West Coast trip of the season. First out to Vancouver, and then Edmonton and Calgary. And as the Red Wings will play their next 6 on the road and 17 of their next 23 away from here. Red Wings won't be back here at the Joe until January 17th when those red-hot Nashville Predators come to town with Pekka Rinne, Neal, and what a team. Philip Forsberg, the great rookie, Weber. What a season they're having. Our new head coach, Ouellette. Barry Trott's team will the Winter Classic against Chicago tomorrow. Former Predators coach. Here are the Red Wings in. Schneider the save. As Zetterberg had a try from close range.
Zetterberg not long off the bench. Picks up a loose puck here. I got it, you take it with the Devils and Jágr. And he tried to go up high there, but see, Schneider hadn't gotten down quick enough for Zetterberg's liking. He knows, been around long enough to know that you get it up underneath that bar, you're going to get a chance to score.
And you just saw Jágr out there against the Euro Twins. He was saying earlier this season how even he, at his advanced age of 42, can learn a few things watching Pavel Datsyuk play the game. Franzen ahead. Helm carries in. Xavier Ouellet. Brendan Smith. Here's Nyquist. Lost an edge and went down as number 14 counterpart Adam Henrique brings it in. Franzen checking him, then he got knocked down on the way through. Back to the line, Sedlitsky with a good move around Miller. Jelena with a shot. Didn't get to the goal. Eriksson able to move it. Helm across center. Schneider to play it. Sedlitsky tapped it along. Sent out to center by 2-2. And that play goes offside. As mentioned, a lot of changes. Peter DeBoer, third coach fired this season as he was let go by the Devils after 3.5 years after he took them to the final. Scott Stevens, one of the assistant coaches, and he had left the Devils organization a little while ago because of philosophical differences with Pete DeBoer, and now he's back working with Lou Lamoriello. And there's Mike Foligno, who's no longer on the bench. Mick, he's now upstairs as an assistant coach.
Yes, and his son, Nick, who we all expected, with Columbus having a great start this year, just signed a nice, long, lucrative contract with the Blue Jackets tonight.
Good for him.
He told me there right at the end of the second intermission, Mike, you're going to be looking for him for a loan.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, Nick's got 17 goals, one shy of his personal best already as that puck is up and out of play. So nice season and good for the Blue Jackets, and they avoid unrestricted free agency for Nick. Son of Mike, who remember his patented leap when he used to score goals, and a former Red Wing, Dave Barr, another former Red Wing, was let go by the Devils in the coaching change. So Mike Foligno's upstairs along with Tommy Albeli, the former assistants down on the bench, replaced by the trio of Lamoriello, Adam Oates, former Red Wing, and Scott Stevens.
Well, there's a lot of shuffling going to go on here with this team, I'm sure, in the next couple of months. Who knows when Lou will go back upstairs, and Adam Oates is the guy that's had the coaching experience with Washington.
Adam Oates one time was a Peter DeBoer assistant, so a little strange there. Shot by Yurko. Camilleri got it to the line. Good play by Tatar to keep it in, then it was kicked ahead. Sislo. Yurko came back. Sislo finished his check, but brought in here by Riley Sheahan. Sheahan around Sedlitsky. Backhand try, didn't work. Sislo for the Devils. The Devils have lost 4 consecutive road games for the 3rd time this season. They are coming off a win at home over Pittsburgh.
Their issue with 33 points is they played 38 games, where Columbus has only played 34 games with 33 points. So there's an outside chance there for Columbus to recover from the dreaded start with all those injuries.
Now the Devils are sort of going through with illness and everything what Columbus went through. Here's Zetterberg. Put it back to the middle, but knocked away before it could get through to Datsyuk. He's there to knock it away from Zubris. Kronwall gets it back from Datsyuk. Henrik Zetterberg looked for Datsyuk, but the pass to him was cut off. Abdelkader on the left wing, joining Kronwall. Abdelkader in. Saved by Schneider. Grabbed by Jomo Ruutu. Xavier Ouellet. Puck didn't get out. Came back to him again. Now number 1 over for Helm. Saved by Schneider. Franzen hustles in to get to the puck before Ruutu was able to. Gus Nyquist with a pass in front, knocked away by Harold for Ruutu. Ruutu's gone 17 games without a goal. Long shot. Schneider the save. Giving it for Jelena. Harold, good pass. 2-2. Got it in. 2-2 scored here, and the Devils lost to the Red Wings. Red Wings have taken the first two meetings. This the third and final one. Red Wings won in a shootout at New Jersey. And Detroit won here 4-2 on November 7th when three defensemen had goals in that game, including Jakob Kindl, who's not in the lineup tonight.
The two goals late in the period that put them up 2-1. Brendan Smith scored the other one. It was a tough start. But those two goals turned that game around.
Brendan Smith with 3 goals in 4 career games against the Devils. Fired in by 2-2. Taken by Kyle Quincy. Quincy was hit. There to cover was DeKeyser, who then gets dumped by Camilleri, but the rule, no foul. Red Wings to go in here on the forecheck. Miller moves up. And there will be an icing here. Well, we talked about Scott Stevens, Mick, who played 1,635 games. He put up nearly 3,000 career penalty minutes, but only 8 of them were for elbowing penalties, if you can believe. Suspended only twice for a total of 4 games. That was in the old NHL. He never once was Stevens suspended for one of his hits.
You had to get your head up when you're going through the middle, for God's sake. I mean, what do you expect?
Those were the days,
You were going to get your bell rung if you went through the middle with your head down. But you know what? This was when the game was starting to change. And we got a hooking call going on here.
Oh, that'll be to the Red Wings. So when we come back, they'll be shorthanded. One of the toughest ever to play the game, Scott Stevens.
Well, let's take a look at our Flagstar Bank Star Watch, and it'll be Mr. Timo Pulkkinen. Look at those numbers. In Grand Rapids, 18 goals in 31 games. They say he's got a gun. Right-handed shooter. Likes to let her go, and who knows? He may be in a Red Wing uniform sooner, not later. You go forward, not a defenseman. You're looking for a right-handed shooting defenseman. They can find one, but when a guy that can score goals like that, he's probably going to get a really good look come training camp next year.
A 5-game goal streak going is Grand Rapids Griffins under Jeff Blashill are 7-2-1 in the last 10 games.
Another one of those way down the draft, 111th pick. I don't get it.
The year after the draft, he set a finished league assist record. Well, not all about his shot. He broke Timo Solani's record in the finished league. So the Devils working here in a power play. 40 seconds having elapsed in the penalty to Yurko for hooking. And some more time will come off as Miller gets it down the ice. Red Wings have still just allowed 13 shots. Brought in here by Gomez. Deflected back out to center. Red Wings with a pretty good month of December. Red Wings had 8 wins in November. New Jersey looking for just their 9th win the past 2 months combined. And here's a break. Abdelkader with Helm. Jelena back. Oh, and the pass to Helm just didn't reach him. Zajac the other way. For Camilleri. Back to line, nearly intercepted by Helm. Jelena. Shot going wide, grabbed by Howard.
Boy, Abdelkader's unhappy with himself. You know, he thought for the longest time, if the defenseman stays there, I got to shoot this puck. He's a left-hand shot coming off the right side. He wants to pass the puck. He could have shot it. That might have just nicked the right skate of Jelena, the defenseman. Watch this from this angle here. Did it hit that skate and miss the stick of Helm? Fakes the shot. Hard to tell. I don't think so. But nonetheless, it might have distracted Helm like a goaltender from seeing the puck hitting on his stick. What a great opportunity. Short-handed.
Helms got the Red Wing goal in this game from Nyquist and Franzen. Made it 1-1, his 50th career goal. And his first in 11 games since he scored against the Rangers. Kept in by John Merrill. Merrill's got it again. Teammate for a couple of seasons with Luke Glendening at Michigan. Jagr. Got it over to Henrique. Missed on the far side and all the way back down the ice.
Jagr make that play from the far side. A big long reach. Like it had eyes on that pass to Henrique. Another penalty gone by the wayside. No shots by New Jersey. Still sitting on 13.
Brendan Smith left it back there. Ouellette.
Good patience there in that pass.
Look at Zetterberg take that pass off his skate onto his stick. Deflected through! And Datsyuk had the try. Zetterberg back to pick it up. Now Adam Larsson. Former 4th overall pick of the Devils, but Datsyuk's got it. Looks for someone. Knocked away before Zetterberg could get to it.
Pavel's been around it all night long.
Datsyuk with a goal and 4 points his past 4 games. Zetterberg for Datsyuk. Tatar in full flight. Came right in front of the goal. Almost right back on Tatar's stick. John Merrill kicked at him. Bernier in a race for it. Dropping one back for Camilleri. Deflected wide of the goal. Bernier got hit by Danny DeKeyser. Quincy. No play in front of him, so sends one back for DeKeyser. But Zajac read that, nearly stole the puck. Devils again without Havlat and Ryder and Elias tonight. Gionta. Ryan Clo's been injured most of this season. Bryce Salvador, a good defender for them, not playing. And this will be icing against Detroit.
Well, if you wonder why Xavier Ouellette is getting called up when he does, watch the patience here. He's got a player in front of him, can't make the play, hesitates, hold, and then when the player moves, puts it between his feet and the heel of his stick right onto the stick of the teammate. That's why they like Xavier Ouellette. That's patience. Looks like a guy that's been around 3-4 years, not one that's played 3 or 4 games.
3 things for him, boy, but a UFC fighter if he weren't a Red Wing, no? He won't mind mixing up on the ice. Nyquist went down heavily. Franzen back for Nyquist. He ties up Jagr. Franzen tried to keep his balance, couldn't. Zubris with it. Checked by Helm.
What a cluster. Oh, jump. This is nothing clean at all. It's crazy.
Set in by Gomez.
Boy, it's a lot of energy expended.
Zetterberg. There's a shot from Datsyuk. Off target. Datsyuk again. Back for Brendan Smith. Datsyuk wanted to go back to Smith, but he was covered. Zetterberg. Abdelkader way offside. Datsyuk can't play it. So the Devils, Camilleri getting the return pass, but checked by Ouellette. Riley Sheahan. Chopped at. Still going. Another try. Abdelkader interfered trying to get to the puck. Knocked down by Sheahan. He got stepped into by Camilleri. On the wing for Sislo. Sheahan for Tatar. Tatar knocked away by Henry.
If it had been Scott Stevens there, he'd have been waking up somewhere else.
Yeah. Didn't see a good defensive play there. Howard saying, okay, you know what? Let's get a face-off here and let the boys talk about the past and some video game. We'll bring you back to Jaromir Jagr way back when we come back.
NHL 94, a cult classic in the gaming world. The first hockey title to include entire player rosters, as well as all NHL teams' names and logos. Gateway to the NHL for many kids in the USA. Jagr, the only player remaining in the NHL to be featured on the roster. Look at Joey Mullen from Hell's Kitchen in New York. And Todd Gill, who played here with the Red Wings a short time, mainly with the Maple Leafs back in 1994.
That may have been the last time you played a video game. Did you ever?
I've never played one.
Okay.
Well, I don't even know what that guy's name is. Mario or something? Not Lemieux, but no pun intended.
Go with it. You know what? The technology's improved a little since then, Pac-Man. Yeah. That's right.
Pac-Man ate things, didn't he?
I love it when we can show something like that and have Mickey do it. That's great. That's video stuff at its best. So
that's
now
when he had the hairdo. Remember the hairdo he used to have?
mullet?
Yeah.
Sure.
He had a big old long hairdo.
He said, my hair gets shorter as the years go by. Everybody else getting younger. Why don't you take him back? Look at the mullet on the left there.
Dave Aaron, oh my God, look at that. Nikolai Borashevsky.
Wow, Red Wings don't want to know about that.
Scored the goal in 94, Game 7. Leafs here at Joe Louis Arena. Never forget that one. Oh my. What a
93.
93? 94 with San Jose.
Yeah, 93.
93 the Leafs, yeah. Oh boy. Never forget it. That's out of play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was 93 and 94 with Jamie Baker on Ozzy, I think.
Ozzy, oh yeah.
Ozzy, sorry Ozzy.
Yeah.
What do we do about that? Boy, oh boy.
Well, way back since then, and that video game, and he's the only player still going, it was from the rosters the year before, so it wasn't Brodeur in that at the time, and all the teams he's been with, and again, just 6 goals back of Phil Esposito for 5th all-time. In goals, 711 he's got, 5th in points all-time, and almost 43 years old.
Marvelous hockey player. For a man that big, that mobile, still going strong. I don't think he's done. Now, I'm talking to a few people in the press box here tonight. Somewhere here today, if not yesterday, Jagr apparently has let it out, or somebody let it out, that he has said if Lamoriello would choose to trade him, he'd be open to him. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, okay.
So,
I know the Red Wings in the past have had interest in the Oilers.
yeah. Well, I mean, that could come from somebody, you know, with the situation they're in, that most likely, a very small chance they're going to make the playoffs. And at his age, you know, could he help a team in a playoff drive? Yeah, probably, unless they're looking to develop young players. That's where an older guy's problem lies in today's world.
Yeah, and in the playoffs it gets a little tougher, and the games are that much quicker, and it may not be the best time of year for him anymore.
Right. And this crowd is antsy. 5:31 to go on a Wednesday night. I keep wanting to think it's a Friday night. It's not. And it's New Year's Eve, and it's a 1-1 game. And with that, we're going to break. And we're going to bring you back for the winning goal. I think so, here by the team in red. We'll be back. Thanks, Mickey. Stay tuned to Red Wings Live following the game, where we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Red Wings Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's new Fresh Baked McCafe Blueberry Muffin. And Tampa Bay, with that win, takes over first spot over the Canadiens.
And the Red Wings still with a game in hand on the Lightning. Need 2 points to stay within 3 points of them.
No place for a nervous person, boy. Keep winning and winning and winning. At the top of the heap.
5:28 to go in this third period. The Red Wings outshot the Devils 6-1 in this final stanza of regulation.
Still sitting on 13. Oh, boy.
The Red Wings, who came into the game as that's offside third in the Atlantic Division, have done well against Jagr's division this season. The Red Wings are 8-2-2 against the Metropolitan Division this year. Last year, they were 9-10-5. So they're having their way with this side of the East.
Well, it's wonderful to see them at 47 points coming into tonight. The problem they've got here, if you call it a problem, is that in the last 10 games, they've only gotten 10 points. And the bottom part of the group, like Washington, the Rangers, and Florida, have all made up a lot of ground on Detroit. So it's wonderful to be near the top, but They're also close to the bottom.
Score! Tipped in front of the goal!
It was tipped for sure.
Abdelkader in front. Well, Mickey said when we come back, we'll get what could be the winning goal. And prophetic.
Well,
where did it hit?
It either Zetterberg, well, there's a pile of them there. Zetterberg, I think, as well as the defenseman. Who got it? Right there. It's Z, number 40. Zetterberg with a one-hopper past the shortstop into center field. It's a single and the game is over. Well, there's still 5:01 to play, but
Nice tip, nice bounce.
Wow. Right off the face-off, and that's the goal I was talking about when we went to commercial.
Zetterberg's got his 9th of the season and his team leading 33rd point.
But it just Devil down right by the penalty box.
And quickly, that's Bernier. And the athletic staff for the Devils made their way very quickly. As that's Steve Bernier, who's down.
Well, Brendan Smith was in the vicinity. Let's see what happened. Oh, did he follow through? No. He got out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Bernier went to hit him and got the worst of it.
You know, I don't know. These kids get on a track and they can't get out. And as a result, when Brendan Smith smartly adjusted his flow, Bernier can't adjust his, and he hurts himself. That's the way the game's played today. I don't know why, but it is. Kids are so committed to making a hit at center ice, which is in a lot of cases a useless hit anyway. It would be a shame if he's hurt himself doing that.
So the Red Wings have the lead on the Zetterberg goal, his 9th from Kronwall and Datsuk at 14:59. Pavel's now got a 5-game point streak with 5 points the past 5. There's a hand for Bernier being helped off by Henrique and Jelena.
I don't know if he got his bell rung or is he dragging a leg. It looks, can't really tell. Dragging his left leg?
Yeah, left leg up in the air.
So maybe it was the way he hit the boards with his knees.
Yeah.
Boy, strangely enough, real speed. Let's watch it. Oh boy, yeah, he's limping badly. It had to be the knees that hit the boards.
That'll be the 9th player out of the Devils lineup now.
Smart play by Smith. Saw it coming, dumped it in, and got out of the way. Who needs to get hit? Who wants to get hit on New Year's Eve? Or unless you're sitting there ordering and said, hit me with another one.
Will later. And Kronwall with the shot that was tipped by Zetterberg, his 250th career assist for Nick Kronwall, who's got 5 points now in 3 games this season against the Devils. There's another shot tipped by Franzen. Schneider made the save.
Twinkle that infield again.
4 assists the past 3 games for Kronwall. In front and wide of the net. Tipped out at center. Getting on that puck is Darren Helm. Helm cutting in. He's held. Scores!
What a beauty.
2-goal night. It's 3-1.
Let the dogs out. She's over. Oh boy, what a move by Helm to protect the puck and move to the middle. Did look he lost it. Helm with his speed. He's not got a lot of gas in the tank, but enough. Cut in, nicely used his right body, the right side of his leg and hip to protect the puck. Look at that right there. Nice job. Penalty shot coming up if he doesn't score. And a backhander to the front hand and up and through Schneider to make it 3-1 with 4 1/4 to go. Wow, there's your first star of the game. What a beauty. Way to go, Darren.
His first 2 goals in 11 games. He got the Red Wings on even terms in this one and now puts them up by 2. 51 career goals for Darren Helm, unassisted.
7 on the year, so all of a sudden he's becoming a regular factor.
So Coming into the game tonight, we said, whoa!
Look out.
Big tumble. Was that Meyer who went down heavily? The referee seems to be okay. When the Red Wings had scored 10 of 16 goals on the power play. The last 7 games they scored a goal. Tonight they've got 3 at even strength. Getting back on that track. And a good night to do that. Zajac headed back for Andy Green, but he was going right and the pass went left.
That kid certainly doesn't look like he's comfortable with the contract he signed, Zajac. 5 goals. They got to get a lot more out of him than that.
For sure.
A lot of dough. New Jersey still with only 1 shot on goal here in the 3rd period. Wow. And pretty much all Red Wings, 9-1.
Yager dumped one ahead for Gomez. Scott Gomez couldn't get past Eriksson. Miller. Datsyuk. Miller, save made by Schneider.
Here's something to celebrate, Hockey Town, this New Year's Eve. Fee-free weekend, January 1 at 9 a.m. through the 4th at 10 p.m. Pay 0 fees on tickets for all remaining regular season home games. For some restrictions apply. For more information, go to DetroitRedWings.com. Well, after the other night, Ken, 45 shots in Boston, the message I'm sure to Detroit was, guys, we got to be a lot tighter against whoever we play. Now, a different team, Boston and New Jersey, I'll give it you that. But, boy, they've really shut it down with only 13 shots against tonight.
Helm in back of the net. Nyquist for Franzen.
Merrill's missing a glove.
Nyquist trying to get open as Franzen put it back into the corner. Nyquist with 38 goals as this calendar year comes to an end. 4th best in the National Hockey League, tied with Alex Ovechkin. Nyquist being pushed to the end boards.
Yeah, they grabbed him.
Only Nash, Sagan, and Pavelski with 42 have more goals this calendar year than Gus Nyquist, 38.
Well, you can count this baby down. Adam Henrique going to the box.
14, minor penalty for holding.
And it was Nyquist who forced the hold. Kept that feet moving. Look at that. Yeah.
Nyquist, who just finished the shift, made 14 power play goals this calendar year.
Yeah.
4th best. Ovechkin leads with 19. Boy, Stephen Weiss hasn't played a lot.
Oh, yeah.
He's only played 750 in this game in less than 2 minutes here in the 3rd period. Thought he might be going out for the power play, but not.
Yeah.
As Mike Babcock shortened his bench here.
Well, he's got Tatar, who's had lots of opportunity here tonight, plus Nyquist. They've been really good. Supposedly your second power play unit, but they've caused a lot of damage for New Jersey, although they haven't been able to cash in.
Bell Tire power play. A save in and out of the glove of Schneider. And it's to Kaiser's and in the point here with Kronwall as Zajac. Shot was blocked by Kronwall. Another one blocked by Kronwall.
I wonder if they're going to pull the goaltender anyway. I don't know why not.
Here comes Nyquist. Looking to end 2014 with yet another goal. Tatar move one back to the line and gets it back from Eriksson. In the power play time here. Kaiser moved it through. Over Nyquist's stick. Tatar into the corner. And Nyquist lead the Wings with 15 goals. Riley Sheahan or Tatar. Nyquist. They circle. Eriksson for De Kaiser. Over a minute left. Knocked off Tatar's stick. And the Devils. Green lost his stick. Less than a minute to go as Zetterberg brings it through. Zetterberg's goal right now stands up as the winner Over Kronwall and back to center. Time winding down. As the Red Wings' dominance over the Devils continues, they're going to sweep the season series and improve to 12-1 their last 13 home games against New Jersey. Datsyuk couldn't get it. Camilleri turns.
Helms on the ice to try to get his hat trick.
That went over the stick of Quincy, and the Red Wings are going to close 2014 in victorious fashion to improve to 29-9 and go to 49 points.
Very good defensive effort tonight by the Detroit Red Wings. Jimmy Howard only 13 shots on goal, 1 in the third period, and that allowed Darren Helm to provide our big boy play of the game. What a goal. Wow. That made it 3-1. That put a lock on it. His second of the night. That's our big boy play of the game, and what a play it was. Wow.
Well, in the first meeting of the year that the Red Wings won 4-2 in New Jersey, they outshot the Devils, or first meeting here, 31-17. Tonight, 28-13, and they win 3-1.